I will say, it is really eye-opening and cool when big studios do take risks, though. Games like, Child of Light, which I don't remember, like, how big the dev team was for that, or if maybe that actually was, like, an indie game that was just picked up by, Ubisoft. I think it was Ubisoft. So that might not be the best example, but I know there's some times where AAA companies will make smaller games as, like, a test, and they can be really good, you know, when they actually let their team go crazy and make something really unique and wild. Honestly, like, even though it's a AAA game and a lot of what makes it good is kind of the AAA formula, I have to point out BioShock, especially BioShock Infinite and its DLCs. Good lord, like, did they not just walk into the dev team and just be like, do what you want, just make sure it has guns? Like, I feel like that was the meeting. It was like, okay, you can do whatever you want, but we need guns and a hot chick. Go. And they just were allowed to do it because, man, they get really crazy, especially with the DLC. It was so... It felt like an indie game at times. It truly did. They really captured that essence of, like, creativity with BioShock. It was like if you've never played the Infinite DLC, I cannot recommend it enough. Truly, I cannot recommend it enough. I think a lot of people played Infinite, loved it, but never played the DLC, and I cannot recommend the DLC enough. It is so good. Like, take BioShock Infinite, but get rid of all the AAA feel and make it like an indie game, and that's the DLCs. It's wildly good. But yeah, it's so great when, like, you can tell that the dev team was given way more creative freedom. God of War is another example where it feels like they really let the dev team go wild with what they wanted to do and what they thought would be good, and not just what was the best choice for a AAA company to do, you know? Well, don't worry, guys. If you're lost with BioShock or it just wasn't your thing, we will 555,555% be doing all the BioShocks one day. I already did all the Platinums, and I did the remake, the remaster Platinum too. So, I didn't, like, jump on it right away on stream or anything. But one day we will do a BioShock marathon of just playing them and enjoying the stories. Even though I've done everything to do in them. Because, it's one of my favorite series, and I have a lot to say about it, and it's very close to my heart. BioShock Infinite is still in my top 5. Which, surprises some people, and they're like, what's your top 5? And I always put BioShock Infinite in there. It's kind of moved down since then, but it's still there. A lot of people are like, wait, BioShock Infinite. But I have a really, really personal connection with that series, so we'll definitely be doing, like, a deep dive into BioShock one day and just enjoying it together. And I will definitely play the Infinite DLC because, man, so good. I know, like, life-changing is, like, really cringy to say. But you know how, like, a lot of people played Undertale and it made them, like, think differently about things? The BioShock Infinite and its DLC did that for me 100%. Life-changing is maybe a bit of an exaggeration or a bit of a big word, but definitely made me think differently about things and, like, yeah. And that's such a great series to, like, experience together because, like you said, a lot of people just aren't really into Bioshock, like, the gameplay. So, it'll be nice to follow the story together without having to play it, you know? Kind of like this. No one wants to go out and buy this, but we can certainly experience it together through the power of the internet. I was surprised with how many people on the first video were like, I have to go buy this. It's like, wow, I'm kind of shocked. Like, I guess I'm not that shocked, because it is fun and, like, cool, but I just didn't really think that many people would be into buying it. They'd more like just experiencing it this way, but... It's a really fun, like, if I had not played this for the stream, and I just played it alone, this would be a great game to pop in and play, like... Nice Kefka meme. This would have been a great game to just pop in and play, like, while watching something, you know? Like, watching Twitch or watching YouTube videos and just kind of sitting here, like, grinding, and... Because all the text I already know, it's just text from Final Fantasy VII, so I don't need to, like, focus on the story or read the text. I can just sit here and enjoy classic RPG goodness, you know? So... Leedy. The random battles are definitely overtuned, but it's an NES game, so it's expected. Like, I went into it expecting every random battle to be, like, drawn out and crazy, so... My only gripe is that the enemies aren't very unique. Like, you can fight any enemy in any area, and they all pretty much do the same thing. So the enemies themselves are very repetitive. Yeah, I had a very close connection with Bioshock 1. I had not really experienced a game with that kind of atmosphere before. As you know, I'm not a fan of horror games. So, a lot of the games that had atmospheres like that, I had never played. But something about Bioshock, I was able to play it without, like, it didn't affect me in the same way other horror games do. I felt engrossed in the world instead of, like, scared of it. So, and I loved the lore of it so much that I got, like, more and more invested in it instead of getting, like, disconnected from it. So, I played Bioshock 1 so much, and I even did, like, speedruns of the DLC. You can look on my channel. I have, like, ancient videos of speedruns of the DLC and tutorials of the DLC, which I've never really done of any other game. The only tutorials I've ever done is Final Fantasy VII tutorials, because that's the only game that I feel like I am someone that can truly tell you things, you know, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I feel like I can make Final Fantasy VII tutorials, given how much time I put into it. But I've never really done tutorials of other games. I did tutorials of the God of War challenges, which actually, one of those videos got really popular. But, never really did it for anything else. And then when Bioshock came out, I loved it so much that I made tutorials for the DLC and then speedran the DLCs a bit too. And I did a challenge run of Bioshock a long time ago, just on my own for fun. Which I kind of never did that with any game either. Whenever I do a challenge run, it's usually more of an official, put it on YouTube, type up like a rule set, kind of official thing, because I take challenge running very seriously, because it's one of my biggest passions. But I specifically remember beating Bioshock and just not being done with it, so I started it over and I think I did, like, tonics and melee only, I think. I just wanted to play the game again. So yeah, and I've thought many times about actually officially speedrunning BioShock. And funnily enough, just like a few weeks ago, something new was found in BioShock, and the speedrun got, like, cut by, like, 5 minutes. Which is pretty nuts, because BioShock speedrunning is actually pretty popular, and everyone thought everything was found, or pretty close to everything was found. But, a new way to clip through doors was found, and it, like, completely revolutionized the speedrun, so a lot of, like, BioShock speedrunning kind of took off the last couple weeks. So if I wanted to get into it, now's a good time. Yo, C-Mark, thank you for the 2 gifted subs. And Easy, how's it going, man? We're grinding not for a boss, we're grinding for the Great Glacier, because it's like a maze and I keep getting smashed. Because the random battles are really hard. You don't like open world games? Why is that? Do you suffer from the same problem that I do, where, like, you want to 100% everything, and open world games just feel too big? Does anyone else have that problem? I know it's, like, a problem that some people have, because I've read about other people complaining about it. But I have a bit of an issue with, like, endless games. If, like, it's not that I'm necessarily a completionist. Like, I can totally beat a game without getting everything, that's fine. But I like having, like, a checklist. I like knowing what I can do in each area, and then choosing what to do and what not to do. When a game is so open that, like, everything's infinite, and there's no real way for me to, like, package everything, like, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this, and instead everything's just all over the place, I get, like, overwhelmed, and I, like, don't want to play it. I'm trying to think of, like, a good example, but I think, like, maybe even, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 was a good example, because I felt like I needed something to, like, achieve in that game, and there really isn't. It's more of just an infinite, never-ending, just do stuff. And I needed, like, a checklist of, like, I want to do this, 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 and this, or I want to, like, start doing this, and it was never like that, other than the story. Speaking of good indie games, C-Mark, thank you for another gifted sub. A Cyber Shadow resub. Yeah, like, I don't know, that whole... I'm gonna start calling it, like, Mario 64 syndrome. Because I feel like that's where it started. I played a lot of games that were just kind of linear games, so you just beat and that's it. Or, you know, other games where you just kind of play it and there's no real, like, 100% ability. But then you play Mario 64 and it's such this beautiful, like, you go into a world and it's like, these are the things you have to accomplish. And ever since then, I want every game to be that way. With exceptions, obviously, but whenever I play a single-player game, there's this kind of hope that there's some kind of list that I can check off to say, yes, I 100%ed this thing. Yeah, I feel like Mario 64 definitely changed my perspective of games in a different way. But yeah. I mean, I even remember as a kid writing down, like, ideas for video games, you know? Like, just doodling, like, oh, if I made a game, this would be what it would be. And I specifically remember it always being a Mario 64 formula. It was always like, oh, there'll be a fire world, and you can get these stars in it, and then there's this world, and you get this in this world, and etc., etc. And a lot of the games I played afterwards followed the same formula. It just made sense. But yeah, I do think that some games suffer from being too big. And some people like that. Some people like to just jump into a world and never finish everything. Just feel like this endless, vast game where they can just play it forever. But I don't like that. I like to play a game, finish it, move on. No matter how long that takes, even if it takes a really long time. I want there to be an end goal. In fact, I think it's pretty common for me within the first few hours of a game to kind of decide what my end goal is. I think a lot of people do that. Maybe even if it's subconsciously, like, a few hours in, you kind of decide, am I going to 100% this game, or am I going to, like, just get through the story, or, like, what's my end game here? And then you kind of change your strategy of playing it depending on what your end game is. You kind of decide, oh, I'm going to start trying to pick up everything. Or, oh, I'm just going to start leaving stuff because I just want to get to the end. There's always kind of that point where you switch up your game style once you've realized what the game is. And you have to make that decision on whether or not you're going to try to pick up everything on your way through the game, or just beat the game and then go back and do it later. I think the original Assassin's Creed was a good example of that kind of game where it was open world, but it was very easy to checklist each area, finish each area. Infamous, good example too. Yeah, I'm excited to get back to Ghost. I have to decide if I want to continue the PS4 version or just bite the bullet and start over on the PS5 version. This whole, like, every PS4 game getting a PS5 version with new trophies is really screwing me up. Because I have to decide, like, do I play the PS5 version and then never play the PS4 version? Or do I force myself to play the PS4 version so I can play it twice? Yo, thanks SSJ. Because if you play the PS5 version, you're never going to go back and play the PS4 version. Like, you're just never going to do it. You might tell yourself you're going to do it, but you're never going to do it. No one likes to play a worse version of the same game. Of course, for Fantathon, that's kind of what I did, but I'm weird. I had a purpose behind it, okay? So it makes sense. But, right, like, if you have the ability to play the PS5 version, and you do, it's just going to feel bad going back to the PS4 version. It's just going to feel like a worse version, a slower version of what you've already played. And it's just not going to be fun. Even if you love the game, like, you're going to play it wishing you were playing the PS5 version the whole time, right? But if I force myself to finish the PS4 version first, then I get to play the game all over again on PS5, and it's better. So that's the best way to do it. Force yourself to play the PS4 version so you have an excuse to go play the PS5 version one day and experience it even better. But you have to have the discipline to not just play the PS5 one first. What about stage-based games that had a rating system? Oh, you mean like Devil May Cry or something, where like you get a rating at the end? I have to really like the game if I want to like try to get... I mean, it totally depends on the game, but... In terms of like... Devil May Cry... Well... Devil May Cry 4, I think it was. I did like everything in that game. I remember even beating the game on Hell in Hell mode, which was a nightmare. I really hope I can return to Devil May Cry one day, but... You ever have an old game series that you played a bunch as a kid and then you go back to it and it just doesn't feel the same? That's Devil May Cry for me. I don't know what happened, but I go back to try to play it and it just doesn't feel right. Maybe I just played it at a bad time. I don't know. That's happened before, where like I'm just not in the mood for that type of game and I try it later and it's fine. Yeah, I think it was 4. 4 was the one with the cutscene at the start with him shooting the pool balls, like, in midair. And, like, eating the pizza. And he, like, throws the coin into the jukebox from, like, a mile away. It's, like, in the first scene. That's 4, right? No, that's 3? Okay, I'm thinking 3 then. Yeah, I think 3 was the one that I played the crap out of and, like, beat on every difficulty and got all the S rankings and all that jazz. And that was before, like, not that trophies really changed much, but a lot of games I just kind of did what was fun. I didn't necessarily 100% every game, just 100% it. But for some reason I was really convinced that I wanted to 100% that game and do everything that the game offered. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't know. If I really like a game, then I'll go the completionist route. Like, pretty much all the Final Fantasies, at some point, I do some kind of completionist run. Now, I usually don't go crazy with, like, 99 of every item or something, but I will do all the content that I think is, you know, completing the game 100%. Yay, we got him! Leviat! We got Leviat. And other games that I like but don't really care to 100%, I'll just do whatever I find fun. Trophy Quest is really the only thing where I, like, force myself to do everything because I, you know, to get the platinum you gotta do whatever. And that leads to some really great moments because I do a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done otherwise unless the game told me to. But then it also leads to some garbage too. That's what I love about Trophy Quest. That's what I love about trophies in general, is that it's forced, so you have to do it no matter what. Can't just be like, well, that's too hard, or that's too grindy, or whatever. Like, I'll just not do that and say I got 100%. Like, you gotta do it, or the trophy don't pop. And if you do it, you have proof that you did it. Alright, we should try again. Went up some levels. I don't know how many levels we went up, but we definitely leveled up some materia, so... See, I don't think so. Like, why would I ever play the PS4 version if I have the PS5 version? And I've played it. If I force myself to wait, then it's fine. But if I play all the way through the PS5 version, I'm not then going to be like, let's play through the PS4 version. Like I said, I can say that, but I'm not going to actually do it. I could lie to myself and say, oh yeah, I'll play the PS4 version, but it's not going to happen. It's too many games. Too many games to play a worse version of a game I've already played. In today's world, like, there's just too many games. Why would I waste my time playing a worse version of a game I just played when I could play... I have a whole shelf of games I haven't touched, you know? Of course, I'm saying that, and I spent 60 hours in a single Celeste room. Like, so what do I know? But you see what I'm saying, like, objectively, it's just not a great use of your time. What if I just go back and forth in the same screen? Can I trick the game into thinking I left or something? I wonder if there really is, like, a puzzle here. Kinda worried. Why would I play a worse version of a game I've already played? Is currently playing Final Fantasy VII on the NES. Okay, so I guess we passed out. Dude, okay, honestly, I wonder if going back and forth actually tricked the game. Because I only went through 3 screens. I have a feeling that the way this works is you have to go through like 10 screen transitions. And I cheated by going back and forth. In other words, I 5 million IQ'd this. All skill. What? We're on the world map? Oh, I guess there is like that little world map between... But that's not... This isn't where it usually is. This is weird. Can I rest at your house? Free rest? Yeah, I'll save. We have a free rest. I can't buy phoenixes, though. What if I run out of phoenixes? We'll be fine. Trust. Where the heck are we? I actually want to replace Sid's materia so we can start leveling up something else. Now that I got Leviat. I know I'm supposed to go in the cave. I'm exploring the environment. Yeah, I don't know if I ever really, like, casually speedran a game before I knew speedrunning was a thing. But I probably did something, like, similar. I probably challenge runned a game before I knew challenge running was a thing. How could I not notice the cave? It was like unbelievably obviously in front of the house. Just go back to asking me if I drew Leviathan. Hey, how's it going, Deathless? Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I remember, my first time trial game ever was MotorStorm on PS3. And I really had no idea that anyone cared about time trialing. The only reason I knew other people cared was because there were other times on the leaderboard. But where does this go? This goes all the way back to high school in. So the Great Glacier just doesn't exist now. Okay. Well, at least we can go back to buy stuff, so we're not soft-locked. Out of items. And I have this sweet free rest now. You know, I've been thinking, question mark. This is an odd conversation. So this is the conversation that Barrett normally has with you if you talk to him outside the guy's house. But everyone has a conversation there. It's funny that they specifically picked Barrett because Barrett's was the most interesting. It's actually really good dialogue. I talked about it in my in-depth of Barrett video. But it's funny that, like, out of all the dialogues, they picked specifically Barrett's because his is, like, the most important one. Everyone else is kind of just like, it's cold. It's really cold out here. Interesting song. A dragon. We're fighting a dragon. I was 14. I don't remember you. Die, hey dragon. Dude, DoorDash has sent me 3 alerts. Dude, DoorDash is awful. I actually hate DoorDash app. They are like the worst. They just constantly bombard you with like messages. Just want you to use DoorDash so bad. I got 3 alerts from DoorDash. One about getting coffee. One about 30% off Dollar General. And one that just says local florists are nearby. It's November. Like what? Why would I need to DoorDash why would I ever need to DoorDash flowers, first of all?
Now, this is it. Now is the time to die and be free of pain. Or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands.
I wasn't expecting Shizzo just chilling 2 feet into the cave, but okay. Oh, I forgot to change. Oh god. He's huge. I need to change your materia. Let's go wind. Why would I ever need to DoorDash flowers? I can just go to the flower shop and see the flowers I'm buying. Why would I... Why would I want to DoorDash flowers? I Okay, Schizo hurts a lot. Also, I think he's weak against ice. Because ice is doing big damage. Don't. Okay. You can DoorDash flowers to someone in a different city. Is that a hint? You want flowers for Christmas? I think that's what this is. I think Ataru just wants flowers. Can't blame her. Ataru has a meeting. You may not want to send me flowers once you see what I'm getting you for Christmas. Oh, great. I can't wait. Superman 64 2. Some ROM hack of Superman 64 that's like Superman 64 but worse. Bubsy 3D. Bubsy 3D, but every time you die, you have to play Superman 64. Yo, Shane, thank you for the cursed Sonic GIF. The 38 months. Appreciate it, man. Desert bus, but the guy behind you is playing Superman 64 the whole time. Yeah, if you're even making the joke that Superman 64 is the best game, you've never played Superman 64. If you played Superman 64, you wouldn't even joke about something like that. Like, just the thought of saying that would, like, hurt you physically. Wow. That was mean. I was looking back on some old videos the other day, and I saw the Mortal Kombat Mythologies video I made. Or no, was it Mythology? I forget the name of it. That one with Jax is the main character. But the thumbnail I made for that video was incredible. I had forgotten about that video and the thumbnail I made for it. It's like top tier thumbnail. I'll show you if I can find it. Can you not obliterate Cloud? See it in here. I have to actually just download the picture. if I'm gonna be able to keep Cloud alive. This might be a bit of a yikes. No, I don't. I'm getting some ad on YouTube. Please, Cloud, don't die. Alright, here, I'll just take a quick snapshot. Here you go. This is the thumbnail for that video. Must say, 20 out of 10 best thumbnail. Neck doesn't even line up with Jax's neck. Pretty fantastic. Dude, that whole game was glorious. The game was incredible. We gotta replay that someday. But then I'm gonna like hate it because I'm gonna hate it because that game was actually like really frustrating to beat. Some of the last levels were complete mazes, or just a disaster. What are you talking about? This is Final Fantasy VII. Play it on a different channel. This is the only channel I have. My mom only made me this one account. God, Dragon's Lair. Dragon's Lair is without a doubt the worst functional game I've ever played. Like, the only reason I would ever call Superman 64 worse is because it, like, did not function correctly. I could not beat the game, it kept crashing. And the fact that it's a official N64 release and it crashes just blows my mind. I've never had another N64 game crash, like, just playing it. That just isn't a thing that happens with N64 games. Superman 64 crashed like 9 times in different places. It wasn't even like a specific thing I was doing to crash the game. I was just playing it, and it crashed that many times randomly. So, like, I feel like objectively I have to call it the worst game I've ever played. But if we're not including the fact that the game crashed, Dragon's Lair was even worse. That game is unplayable. I've never played a game where you legitimately need to understand the speedrun in order to beat it. We did it! We beat them. Yo, Blaze home! Thank you so much for the 53 months. Yeah, Retro Spook was amazing. That was a great Hollow month. Don't diss Shaq Fu. That game is actually great. Today on Internet Opinions. It's like I didn't watch the video, but I've never played a video game, but I have to say, Shaq Fu is pretty good. Shaquille O'Neal is my favorite video game character, and I really like the way it was portrayed. Oh my god! What? I think we lose. I think I have to fight the boss again. Because this enemy just did 1,000 damage to Cloud out of nowhere. Wow. It's literally just trying to walk out. That's the thing with this game, though. Like, any random battle can kill you. Any random battle can just suddenly kill you. It's incredibly easy to just get crit or get a fight with 6 enemies and just get blasted.